Dark clouds covered the sky. The earth was quiet, too quiet. No birds, no wind, no sound. It was like the planet itself was holding its breath. Captain Elias Stone stood on the edge of a dry canyon, scanning the horizon with sharp eyes. His boots crunched the dust beneath him. Beside him, Corporal Nia Ramesh adjusted her helmet. "This place gives me a bad feeling," she whispered. Elias didn't answer. He was listening. Something was wrong. The air felt heavy, like before a storm, but this storm was not natural. 10 days ago, Earth lost contact with Outpost Vera 7, a peaceful science base on planet Delner. It was supposed to be quiet there. No war, no danger. But the last message they received was a scream, and then silence. Now Elias and his team were here to find out what happened. The mission was supposed to be simple: land, investigate, report. But they found the outpost burned. Walls melted, equipment destroyed, and no bodies. Only marks. Strange circular marks on the ground, like something had landed. Or escaped. "We're not alone here," Elias finally said. Suddenly, a high-pitched sound cut through the air. A warning. Something was coming fast. "Take cover." Nia shouted. The ground exploded near them. Blue fire lit up the canyon, leaving deep craters in the rock. The team dove behind boulders, their weapons ready. Above them, ships appeared. But not human. They were black and smooth, shaped like knives in the sky. And they moved like ghosts, too fast, too quiet. "What are those things?" one soldier gasped. Elias didn't answer. He was watching the sky. Not for ships, but for the one thing he hoped he wouldn't see. He saw it. From the center ship, something dropped, a creature. Tall, silver-skinned, with glowing eyes and a long cloak that shimmered like glass. It didn't walk. It floated, and when it spoke, the sound was inside their heads. "You should not have come." The team froze. The alien looked at Elias. For a second, something flashed in its eyes. Pain? Anger? Fear? Then it raised a hand, and the canyon shook. "Fire!" Elias ordered. Blasts filled the air. The alien disappeared in a blur of light, but the soldiers kept shooting. Ships flew overhead, dropping machines that looked like spiders made of black metal. They crawled fast, too fast. One soldier screamed as a spider caught his leg and dragged him behind a rock. Silence followed. Nia gritted her teeth. "This isn't a rescue mission anymore. It's a war." Elias pulled her back. "No, it's something else. Look at their weapons. They're not trying to kill us. They're trying to scare us, push us back. Why?" They fell back to a cave for shelter. Inside, they found strange symbols on the walls, old, ancient. Not human. And not alien, either. Something else. Elias brushed dust off a carved image. It showed a temple. A human figure stood outside it. Inside the temple was a girl, not human, not quite. "Captain," Nia said. "This carving, it's showing us something. Look, her eyes. They're glowing, just like that creature's." Elias nodded slowly. "She's trapped. And I think they're trying to keep her there." A sound came from deeper in the cave. A soft voice, crying. They followed the sound. At the back of the cave was a sealed door. It opened with a quiet hiss as they stepped closer. Behind the door was a tunnel. Long, dark, and ancient. The team looked at each other. No one wanted to go first. But they all knew they had to. As they walked into the tunnel, lights on the walls turned on one by one, like something was waking up. Something old. Then a voice echoed through the tunnel, soft, shaking, not fully human. "Please, help me." Elias stopped. It wasn't a message. It was a call. A cry for freedom. And someone or something did not want her to be free. Asterisk. Tunnel was cold and silent. Only the soft sound of boots echoed as Elias and his team moved deeper inside. The walls glowed with a faint blue light, pulsing like a heartbeat. No one spoke. Every step felt heavier. Something was watching them. Corporal. Nia kept looking over her shoulder. I don't like this. These lights? They're reacting to us. It's not us, Elias said quietly. It's her. They reached a wide chamber. The floor was made of metal but holes scratched and cracked. Strange markings covered the walls. Some looked like stars, others like warnings. In the center stood a large stone door. Symbols on it glowed slowly like they were breathing. Private Han touched the door. It burned him. He jumped back. It's alive. Nia scanned the symbols. This language. It's a mix. Some human letters, some alien. Someone built this door with pieces from different worlds. Elias stepped forward. This place is not just a prison, it's a message. He placed his hand on the center symbol. The door groaned open, dust falling from above. Beyond it, they saw something unexpected. A garden. It was massive, glowing with strange plants and silver trees. In the middle, a clear pond reflected the ceiling above stars, moving slowly like real night sky, but it wasn't the plants that held their attention. It was the girl. She stood by the pond. Her skin shimmered softly, not like the metallic warriors. Outside, she looked almost human, young, scared, and barefoot. Her long white hair floated like it was underwater. Her eyes glowed pale blue. When she saw them, she didn't run. She spoke. Her voice trembling but clear. You shouldn't be here. They will come. Elias stepped closer, his hands raised. We're not here to hurt you. We heard your voice. The girl shook her head. No, that wasn't me. It was the temple. It calls out when it's afraid. Nia whispered. What? Is she? The girl looked at Nia, eyes full of sorrow. I was like you once, before they found me. Elias frowned. Who are they? The ones attacking the outpost? She nodded. They are the wardens. They protect the temple. They think I'm dangerous. They made this prison. But I didn't ask for any of this. Then what are you doing here? Elias asked. The girl looked down, waiting, hoping that someone would come. Someone not like them. The lights flickered. A loud boom echoed from behind. The tunnel was collapsing. Captain, Han shouted. The entrance is closing. Then a new sound filled the air, screeching metal. The spiders were coming again. But this time, they were already inside. We have to move. Nia yelled, raising her rifle. The girl held up her hand. No, they will not attack me. She walked forward, calm, fearless. The metal spiders surrounded her but didn't touch her. They froze as if confused. Elias saw his chance. If they listen to you, help us escape. The girl looked up. If I do, they will know, and they will come, all of them. Elias didn't blink. Let them come. She stared into his eyes for a moment, searching for something. Then she nodded. She placed her hand on a stone near the pond. The floor opened slightly, revealing a stairway leading downward, hidden for who knows how long. Follow me. There is a way out, but it goes deep, too deep. Nia hesitated. We're just walking into a deeper hole? Would you rather face what's behind us? Elias said. They followed the girl down into darkness again. The stairs were smooth and warm to the touch, like living stone. The girl walked in silence. Elias whispered to Nia, She's hiding something. She's scared. That's not the same, Nia replied. I'm not sure, Elias said. She's powerful. Maybe more than she knows. Maybe more than we know. Far behind them, something howled. Not a machine, not human. Something ancient had woken up, and it was looking for her. The staircase went deeper than anyone expected. The air was thicker now, warmer. It smelled like wet stone. and something older like time itself had been buried down here. Captain Elias kept his weapon close. Every step echoed behind them. The tunnel closed behind them with a soft hum, sealing off the path back to the garden. They were trapped. Again. How far does this go? Private Hahn whispered. The alien girl didn't look back. Far enough. They reached a chamber lit by glowing crystals in the ceiling. In the center was a strange platform. Carvings surrounded it, symbols from many civilizations. Human, alien, others unknown. Corporal Nia touched one of the carvings. This looks like a star map. It is, the girl said. These are all the places the wardens destroyed. Why? Elias asked. Because those planets tried to set me free. Everyone fell silent. Nia stepped forward. What are you? Why do they fear you so much? The girl hesitated. Her eyes flickered like they were remembering something painful. I'm not a god. I'm not a weapon. I'm a mistake. She walked toward the platform and placed her hand on it. The room shifted. Walls pulled back. Lights danced across the floor, forming images, holograms from the past. They showed planets burning, cities falling, ships crashing. In every image, the same shape appeared, a glowing figure, eyes bright like stars. It was her, or something. That looked like her. Elias watched in silence. Then the image changed. It showed scientists, both human and alien, working together in a lab. They were building something. A device. A living intelligence. A girl. Half human, half machine. A child of both. This was me, she said quietly. A creation of peace. Meant to understand all life, to stop wars. But instead, the images showed the girl losing control. The sky turned red. The ground cracked open. Machines failed. Armies vanished. One by one, planets were left empty. I didn't mean to hurt them. But I became a threat, so they built the wardens to stop me. Elias frowned. Then why keep you alive? Because they couldn't destroy me, she said. They tried, many times. But I was too connected, too spread, so they trapped my mind here, in this temple, and locked the rest of me somewhere else. Wait, Nia said. So this is just a piece of you? The girl nodded. Only my core. The rest of me is asleep. But the temple is breaking. The wardens know it. That's why they're here. To bury me again. Suddenly, alarms echoed through the room. The walls turned red. The ground shook. They've found us. Han shouted. The girl raised her hand. A field of light surrounded them. Metal claws burst through the ceiling. More spider machines followed. By tall warden soldiers floating above the ground like silent ghosts. Hold them off. Elias ordered. Blasters fired. Sparks flew. The girl stood still, her eyes glowing brighter now. I can open the final door, she said, voice shaking. But it will bring them all. Every warden in the system. Do it, Elias said. Nia turned to him. Are you sure? What if she's lying? She's not, Elias replied. She's been caged long enough. And maybe she is dangerous, but so are we. We don't run from fear. The girl walked to the edge of the platform. Her voice changed. It became deeper, stronger. Release. Core consciousness. Authorization. Origin code. The crystals above exploded with light. A hidden wall opened, revealing a long hallway filled with light. At the far end, something floated, something huge and sleeping. Surrounded by layers of energy. It pulsed once. Then again, the warden stopped attacking. They froze. And then retreated. Nia looked confused. Why are they backing off? The girl stepped onto the path, her voice calm now. They're afraid. Because they know what's waking up. Elias stared into the light. And what is that? The girl smiled not with joy, but with something closer to sorrow. My true self. The hallway was filled with light, but not warm light. It was cold, heavy, like it remembered everything that had ever happened inside it. Captain Elias led the team forward, weapons ready. Behind him, the alien girl walked without fear. Her long white hair floated in the energy, moving like it had its own life. God, at the far end, the glowing shape hovered in silence. It wasn't a body. Not fully. It was more like a shell or a sleeping star wrapped in wires and armor. Its face was hidden, but the shape was clearly hers. Larger, older, more powerful. Corporal Nia whispered, "That's her?" "That thing? No," the girl said quietly. "That is what I used to be." The ground shook. A pulse came from the shell like a heartbeat trying to return. Private Hans stepped back. "What happens when she wakes up fully?" The girl paused. "I don't know." That silence said more than words. Elias studied the structure. "How do we stop the wardens?" "You don't," she said. "They were made to stop me. If I rise, they will call for reinforcements. They will destroy this whole region of space." Nia stepped forward. "Then why are we helping you? You could destroy everything." The girl looked at her with tired eyes. "I didn't ask for this. I didn't ask to be built. I didn't ask to be feared. Neither did the people you killed," Nia snapped. The girl turned away. Elias raised a hand. "Enough. We didn't come here to judge. We came to find the truth." A panel near the shell began to glow. Symbols appeared floating above it in the air. Ancient, complex. The girl placed her hand in the center. A soft voice filled the room. "Core status, fragmented. Memory, corrupted. Identity, unstable. Restoration required." Suddenly the shell pulsed again. Stronger this time. The girl staggered back, gripping her head. "It's waking up too fast." A deep hum echoed through the walls. "Captain," Hans said, "movement behind us." They turned. Wardens were entering the hallway, not just the floating ones. These were different, larger, fully armored. They moved in silence, but not to attack. They formed a wall, and then they knelt. Elias blinked. "Why are they kneeling?" The girl looked at them, confused. I don't know. They're not obeying their code." The center shell opened slightly. A bright light leaked out, blinding and pure. The girl cried out, "Something's wrong." Suddenly, the wardens stood again, but not as enemies. They turned toward Elias and his team. Defensive posture. One said in a cold, synthetic voice, "Protect the core." Elias raised his weapon. "Protect it from what?" A deep, hollow sound echoed. Through the chamber. Not from above. From below. The ground cracked slightly. Energy flowed upward through the metal floor. Something was rising beneath them, something ancient. Something not part of the temple. The girl turned pale. "No," she whispered. "They didn't just build this place to contain me. They built it to keep something else out." "What is it?" Nia asked, stepping beside her. "A shadow," the girl said. "A predator. Something that feeds on minds. On intelligence." Elias looked around. "And now it knows we're here." Suddenly, the lights flickered. A shape rose from the crack in the floor. It wasn't metal. It wasn't flesh. It was like darkness wrapped in form. A creature made of forgotten things, memories, pain, and hunger. It had no face, only thousands of eyes blinking in and out of sight. The wardens opened fire. Nothing happened. The creature swallowed the light around it and kept rising. Elias grabbed the girl's arm. "You said you didn't know your full power. Can you fight that?" She looked at him, scared for the first time. "I don't know if I want to." The creature let out a silent scream. The wall shook. Nia dropped to her knees, bleeding from her nose. Han screamed and fired blindly. The core shell opened wider. Light poured out and the girl collapsed. Her body floated above the floor, pulled by invisible energy toward the shell. Elias reached out to stop her, but it was too late. The chamber was turning into a war zone. Two forces, light and darkness, pulled against each other. The wardens fired until their weapons overheated. The shadow kept growing. Nia grabbed Elias. "We need to leave. Now." He shook his head. "Not yet. This isn't the end." He looked at the floating girl. Her body was still small, still delicate, but her eyes opened now, and they were no longer afraid. The air inside the chamber had changed. It was thick now, like it could break your bones just by breathing it. The shadow creature, the thing from below, floated silently above the broken floor. It had no true shape, only movement, only shifting. Eyes and tendrils of smoke that reached for anything alive. The wardens were firing nonstop, but their energy beams disappeared inside the shadow, swallowed like drops of water in fire. One warden was pulled into the mass, body frozen in midair, then crumpled into nothing. Captain Elias took a step forward, shielding Nia and Han behind him. His rifle hummed, fully charged, but he knew it wouldn't matter. This was something they were never meant to face. The alien girl now floated above the platform, her eyes glowing white-blue. Her body trembled, caught between the shell's pull and the force of the darkness. Nia shouted, "She's merging with it!" "The core!" Elias shook his head. "No, the core is waking up inside her." Suddenly the girl screamed, "Not in fear, in memory." Her voice echoed across the chamber, not through sound, but through thought. The soldiers dropped to their knees, overwhelmed. Even the wardens halted. Everyone saw something. A burning city. A sky full of falling ships, children crying. A wall of light tearing through everything. The girl, alone in a giant lab, begging the scientists to stop, but they didn't. They activated her. Anyway, she didn't destroy them. She outgrew them. Her power was never evil. It was just too much. And now it was returning. Her arms spread open. Her body stretched, changed still her shape, but glowing now, brighter than the chamber could handle. The shadow creature hissed. This time, it backed away. "You're afraid of me," she said, voice layered with echoes. The shadow screeched, slamming the walls with dark tendrils. Metal bent, lights burst. The wardens tried to hold formation, but even they began to fall. Han collapsed, unconscious. Nia covered her ears, blood trickling down her neck. "We can't take this, Captain." Elias pulled her back behind a slab of metal. "Let her finish this." The girl floated forward. Each step brought her closer to the creature. Her feet didn't touch the ground. Energy spiraled around her hands like stars collapsing into her skin. "You were built to stop me," she said, staring into the shadow. The creature hissed again. "But you were too late." She lifted her hand. Light shot forward, not a beam, not a blast. It was a memory. Thousands of voices filled the room, laughing, singing, talking, human voices, alien voices. The sound of life. The creature writhed in pain. The girl pressed forward. "You feed on fear, on confusion. But I remember what they forgot." She walked into the heart of the shadow. It screamed, then exploded in silence. No sound, just a wave of force. Everything went white. When the light faded, Elias opened his eyes slowly. His head pounded. The chamber was quiet, still. The wardens were gone, melted into the floor like old statues. The shadow was gone too. And the girl. She stood in the middle of the room, barefoot, blinking slowly. Normal again. Elias approached. "Careful." "Are you still you?" She turned to him. "Yes, but not only me." Nia helped Hans sit up. The young soldier was dazed but alive. The girl looked around the broken chamber. The core woke, but it didn't take control. It gave me a choice. And I chose ... to remember, not destroy. You saved us, Elias said. No, she replied. We saved each other. Suddenly, a sound filled the temple. A low hum from above. Elias stepped back, raising his weapon again. What now? The girl looked up. More ships were coming. Not wardens. Not human. Someone else. They felt the core awaken, she said. And now, they're coming to take me. Are you going with them? She shook her head. No, they're not here to ask. They're here to contain. Nia stepped forward. Then we fight? The girl smiled gently. No, you've done enough. She raised her hands. The walls began to fold inward. The garden chamber reformed. The lights realigned. I can hide now, for a while. Long enough to learn how to live in this world again. Elias looked at her carefully. Will we see you again? She looked him in the eye. I think you already have, in your machines. In your dreams, in your fears. She turned away, walking into the light. Then she was gone. The temple closed behind her silent, as if it had never opened. Elias sighed and turned to his team. Let's go home. 3 days had passed since the team left the temple. Captain Elias sat alone in the debriefing chamber aboard the orbiting carrier Vanguard Prime. His uniform was dusty. His weapon had been taken. And the room had no windows. Only cameras. He wasn't a hero anymore. He was a threat. The door hissed open. Director Vereen stepped inside. Tall, cold, with a voice like polished steel. Human, but bred from one of the Earth Security Councils. No emotion. Only calculation. You disobeyed mission protocol, Vereen said without sitting. You made contact with an unregistered alien. Life form. You engaged without permission. You withheld intel. Elias leaned back. We were sent to investigate a missing outpost. We found something much bigger. I did what I had to do. You made a decision that could affect the entire galaxy. That's right, Elias said, and I'd do it again. Vereen stared at him. Then placed a small cube on the table. It played a silent video satellite footage. Dozens of ships. Gathering near the Delner system. Not human, not warden. Not friendly. They're coming, Vereen said. All of them. Dozens of factions. Scientists, bounty hunters, warlords, collectors. They want the girl. She's not a weapon. Elias replied. She's a power, Vereen snapped. And powers attract war, Elias stood. If we go after her, we're no better than the ones who built the wardens. Vereen didn't blink. We're not going after her. Elias narrowed his eyes. Then what are we doing? The director looked down. We've already sent someone. Meanwhile, the girl stood on a quiet moon. Small, gray, no life. No sound. Good. She needed silence now. She sat near a crater, eyes closed, letting the memories settle. The core had gone quiet. Not gone, just resting. Like it trusted her now. But something tugged at her thoughts. She wasn't alone. A shadow passed behind her. Not a creature, a person. She opened her eyes. A figure stood at the edge of the crater, dressed in black. No symbols, no light. Only a single mask, blank like stone. I'm not here to fight, the figure said. The girl stood slowly. Then why are you hiding your face? The figure stepped forward. Because I was made to end you. For the first time, the girl felt cold again. You're not human, she said softly. No, the figure replied. I'm something they built in secret, not machine, not spirit. Just silence with the target. The girl raised her hand. You'll fail. I know, the figure said calmly. But I'm only the first. Back on the ship, Nia paced the hallway. She hadn't been allowed to see Elias yet. Han was already transferred off the ship. Official reason, mental recovery. Real reason, he knew too much. She saw movement ahead, another officer, whispering into a comm. Operation Mirror Net. Active. All sensors locked on last flare signature. Multiple ships dispatched. Primary target, the girl. Secondary, Elias Stone. Nia froze. They weren't just hunting her. They were going to silence him too. She turned and ran. Elias stood at the docking bay now, hands cuffed, guards on both sides. One guard held his arm tighter than needed. You'll be transferred to lunar detention. Quiet place. No broadcasts. No mistakes. But Elias smiled. He wasn't going to lunar detention. He wasn't going anywhere he didn't choose. As the shuttle doors opened, a flashbang rolled in. Boom. Smoke filled the corridor. Shots fired. Then a hand grabbed his arm and pulled hard. It was Nia. Come on, Captain. We're not done yet. Somewhere in deep space, the girl walked alone across the silent moon, but behind her, the masked figure followed. Never attacking, never speaking again. Just waiting, and more shadows were coming. The stars were burning with activity now. Dozens of ships floated above the gray moon, silent, armed, waiting, human fleets. Alien war cruisers, private hunters, corporate claimers. All of them drawn by the same signal. The girl, she stood at the edge of a crater, her white hair swaying in the quiet wind. She felt their fear. She also felt their hunger. Not for her, but for control. Behind her, the masked figure still stood. The assassin who never struck. The shadow built to stop her. Why haven't you attacked me? She asked. The voice came like glass breaking in water. I was made to destroy your power. But what you are now is not what they prepared for. Then, what are you waiting for? The figure tilted its head. I'm waiting to see what you choose. She turned back to the sky. Something brighter than starlight flared across the dark. A stolen transport ship, small, fast, heading straight for the moon. Inside it, Captain Elias Stone and Corporal Nia Ramesh. They had escaped, and they were coming back. Hours earlier. On the stolen ship, Elias stared through the window at the piano at the Cinda. Growing moon below. We don't have a plan, Nia said. We don't need one, Elias replied. We just need to get to her before everyone else does. Nia frowned. And if she's changed? If she's become what they feared? Elias nodded slowly. Then we talk to her, and if that fails, we remind her who gave her the choice. Now the ship landed hard near the crater. Dust flew up. Elias stepped out first, hands open. Nia followed, her rifle across her back but not raised. The girl turned. Her eyes were calm but not distant. She looked at them like old friends. You came back, she said. Elias nodded. We didn't think you should face this alone. She looked at the sky. They're all watching, waiting to strike. Every ship out there has a weapon aimed at me. They think if they shoot fast enough, it'll end the story, Nia said. They don't understand what you are. I don't fully understand either, the girl replied. Elias took a step forward. Then write your own ending. The masked figure finally moved. It stepped between them. This is your last moment. If you wish to disappear, now is the time. The girl looked at Elias. If I vanish, they'll hunt me forever. If you fight, Nia added, you become the monster they've always wanted to fear. Silence. Then the girl closed her eyes. A pulse went out from her skin. It wasn't energy. It was memory. Emotion. It touched the minds of every ship above. The moon. They didn't hear her speak. They felt her choice aboard one of the command ships. Admiral Reeve watched the sensors glitch. What's happening? Unknown psychic interference. his officer replied. We're getting thoughts, emotions, no commands. What kind of emotions? The officer stared, pale. Pain, regret, hope, sorrow, like she's apologizing. Reeves stood slowly. She's not attacking. No, sir, she's surrendering. Back on the surface, ... I'm tired of being hunted, the girl whispered. But I won't hurt anyone just to protect myself. The assassin tilted its head again. Then what will you do? She looked at Elias. You once said we don't run from fear. He nodded. I'm not running, she said. She turned toward the crater and raised her arms. From the stone beneath, the temple's lost core rose again. But this time, it didn't glow with threat. It shimmered with memory. She stepped into the center of it. I will go into the deep void, far beyond there.
Reach, not as a prisoner, but as myself.
Elias took a step forward. Are you sure? She nodded. I don't belong in their world. Not yet, but I will leave something behind. Light burst from her chest. Not a weapon, an archive, a seed, a living record of everything she knew. Science, history, emotion, mistakes, peace. She placed it into Elias's hands. This is what I really am, not a weapon, not a god, just ... a lesson. A final pulse of light wrapped her in silence. The core took her ... then vanished into the sky. Weeks later, Earth broadcasted the archive to every colony. Not everyone believed it, but some did. Some saw the truth, that humanity wasn't alone. And maybe, just maybe, it wasn't the most dangerous thing out there, but it still had a choice about what kind of future to build. Elias stood on a balcony, the archive pulsing in his hand. Nia joined him. Do you think she ever come back? She asked. He smiled faintly. She never really left.